Curiosity has definitely been the most common theme throughout all these conversations. When you look at 23 years at the same company, on the surface, it seems pretty linear. Hey, just took steps up the ladder. As you described, it was nothing like that whatsoever. It was a mix of intentional decisions and probably some, serendipity along the way. Is that fair to
Without a
say?
doubt, when I started, it was a very small company. I think I was
Yeah.
employee number 13. You are forced to wear many hats. If you want to stay relevant inside of the company, you want to always find a way to provide value. That obviously resonates with me because I'm just curious about everything. I learned how our financial team worked. I learned how our administrative team worked. I learned how HR worked. I learned how software service and support works. I learned how obviously software is built. It gave me the opportunity to experience a lot of roles within the organization that maybe a more traditional path would require you to be more intentional with. Oh, I don't know. Maybe finance is my thing. Now I have to go and get a job in the finance team versus, oh, I'm curious how that's going to work. So let me just go and work with the financial officer and figure out if I can solve a problem for him or her. That is not something that you see on my resume. To your point, so when you look at the resume, 23 years at the same company, and that's great. It's staying power. That's loyalty, but it doesn't necessarily shine a light on how many different facets of the organization I was able to learn. And more importantly, end up leading and coaching through change. One of the things that I'm the most proud of in my career is the vision of seeing a movement to the cloud before most people did. Now, granted, this was not something new to Ohio. This was something that was being driven by a much larger market force.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
inside of our company and inside of our niche product set, there was just a not resistance, but a inability to see how important it was going to be for us to operate as a SaaS provider in the future. I held on to that vision for many years, speaking with our chairman, speaking with our CEO, speaking with our vice president team, our exec team, trying to get folks to recognize that there's something that we need to be doing to prepare for the inevitability. Fortunately, because of my curiosity and because of the credibility that I had with all the people I just mentioned, I was given some leeway to go out there and start doing some due diligence and start looking at the marketplace. What should we do? Eventually led our company to acquiring a cloud platform that in 2020, when COVID hit us, became our number one revenue producing platform because all
Sure.
of a sudden you had to be able to get your software up and running quickly. You couldn't worry about a 3 month or a 6 month implementation cycle. It literally saved the company from being challenged like most companies were back in 2020 when everyone was going home and trying to figure out how the workforce was going to work. That time period really helped me understand that my passion is not necessarily working in a corporate environment and helping shareholders get to where they want to go. That's important. That's valuable, clearly. But my passion is doing the things that nobody sees yet. My passion is the guy that's knocking on the door that says, hey, we've got an issue that's coming up, or we've got an opportunity that's coming up. Let's start preparing for that. Or the guy that's always, we could do better. We could do better. Let's figure out a different path. How can we be more efficient? How can we be more productive? I think all of that kind of led me to where I ultimately wound up, which is, hey, why don't I just go ahead and launch a coaching practice?